Welcome back to TJ LearnX. This is part 2 of our project-based ETABS course, where we are designing a G+6 building step by step. In the previous part, we selected the design code and prepared the grid system. In this video, we will define materials and section properties, which form the backbone of our structural model. In ETABS, you have to always remember materials control the strength, stiffness, and weight of the structures. If materials are defined incorrectly, the analysis results and member design will also be incorrect. So it's very important. Now we are going to learn how to define materials and section properties in ETABS. For defining the materials, I'm going to define tabs. Here, material properties. Clicking on material properties. Now here I click on add new material. Here I choose the region. The region for me is India. You can choose whichever country you want. And material type is concrete, and also the standard India, and grade is M25. Clicking on OK. Now in here the material name is M25 is good. This name is good for me. You can change the name. And the other parts, ETABS automatically define the other parts like Poisson ratio, shear modulus, modulus of elasticity for to mark 25 of the concrete. It's 25,000 MPa. And like this. So here I am clicking on OK. Now I'm going to add new material, and I'm going to define my rebar properties. Here, like the past, the region material type is now rebar and standard Indian, and the grade is 415. Grade of the rebar 415. You know that this means the strength or yield strength of the steel, which is 415 megapascal or 415 Newton per millimeter square. And I'm going to change the name to rebar 415. And now the other parts are OK, and I'm going to click on OK. Here I defined the concrete and rebar for my materials, and defining the materials, like I said before, is very important. And now I'm clicking on OK. Now when I define my material, I'm going to define also section properties like column section, beam section, and slab section, where we are going to use them. And for defining the section or column section or beam section, you have to come in define tabs and section properties and frame section. Frame section, I'm going to click on frame section. Here we have lots of property, and I'm going to delete them. So therefore I can come here and delete multiple properties. I'm selecting all of them and delete selected frame sections, and also this one. I'm going to click on OK. Now here I'm adding new property, and here use shape types, rectangular section for concrete, and I name my property to column 50 by 50 or 500 by 500. And the material, like I defined before, we have to choose our defined material, like M25. I defined the M25, not the other materials, and I am choosing the M25 for this property. Section shape concave rectangular, and here section dimensions, we have to define this. And I am writing here the depth 500 millimeter and also the width 500 millimeter. And here modify show rebar. This is very important. And for column, you have to choose the column, and if it's beam, I have to choose the beam. Otherwise, my property and the ETABS will not design this section for you. If you choose for both beam and column the same type. And here we have to, in rebar material, we have to give the ETABS the rebar 415 we are defined earlier. And click on OK. Now here I'm choosing the rebar 415 for confining tie bars also. And therefore the other parts are okay. I'm not going to change any of them. I'm clicking on OK here. Now I'm go to modify show rebar. This is correct, everything here, and I'm going to click OK here. Now I'm going to add new property and define the column, the beam, and for that rectangular section like before, and change the name to beam. The size of the beam is 415 to 230 millimeter, and material M25 concrete rectangular. The depth is 450 and the width of the beam is 230. And I'm going to change modify show rebar. This is very important. You have to choose the M3 design only beam. If you remain this one to column, the ETABS will not design the beam for you. You have to choose M3 design beam, and like before, you have to choose rebar 415 for the beam also. I'm going to click on OK and clicking on OK, and like that's going to clicking on OK. And also I'm going to define the slab section for my building, slab sections, and the blade property here, and also add new property. And I'm going to rename this one to slab 150, like the thickness of the slab 150. M30 to M25 we are defining the material, and also here to membrane. We have to change modeling type to membrane, and the type is slab here, and the thickness we have to choose 150. So the other thing is okay. I'm going to clicking on OK and clicking on OK. Now here everything like the materials and sections are defined for the ETABS, and that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to get notified about the next part, and like and hit the bell icon. Thanks.